he said, listen, I want to talk to you. And then we talked and he explained what he has gone through. And he says that ice bath, the first time I went in, I knew I don't want to die anymore. Mm-hmm. Because he said, like 3 months ago, I was contemplating.
Hello and welcome. Today we are here with Beniot, and the topics will be mainly about discomfort and discomfort implied on ourselves through sauning and icing and breathing and, let's say, fasting. And we will talk about all these topics. Plus, we want to kind of merge it together with a training and overlap and benefits for the life. This is what Beniot is doing with his Health and Happiness Center that he set up. However, Beniot didn't start there, and he came from corporate banking environment. Am I correct?
This is correct.
Yeah. So please start with that. How do you become a health and happiness guru, let's say, or a leader when with that background, with background of banking?
Well, first of all, I would like to thank you for inviting me here. And the answer to your question is actually quite simple. It's when I meet people like you. And I do meet, not all are people like you, but a lot of people who are in the same, in the health and sports, and happiness environment.
Industry.
In the industry, yeah. And, that makes me happy. Yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah. It's the people, it's not what I do and how I do it. It's, when the people come to my place and they say it's such an amazing environment and all that, but the environment is made by people. Mm-hmm. And the connection and the sharing, and people have more education in one field than another, in food, in travel, in experiences with drugs, in breathing techniques where they lost their mind and emotional things, and this sharing of these experiences is just fantastic. And in the last 2 years, I've been extremely lucky to meet extraordinary people like you. And
thank you.
So I thank you for reaching out and having that discussion today.
For sure. So how this transition happened? Was it more gradual thing, or one day you just said enough of corporate and I will look for some other ways how to fill the day?
I think I have to thank COVID for doing that. Sometimes in your life you have to change, but you don't have the courage, or you always say, not this month, I'll do it next month.
Yeah. Or from Monday.
Or, or 1st of January, I stopped smoking. And, COVID happened, and, COVID was very bad to a lot of people. And, it was actually good to me to a certain extent to change completely from the corporate world, serving, major international banks for high-level bankers. I interviewed about 2,500 people in 18 years here in Dubai, of bankers, and I've put, actually this is a good comparison. I put almost 2,000 people in ICE in 18 months.
Oh, nice.
So 18 years, 18 months, 2,500 interviews, 2,000 people in ICE.
The circle is closed.
No, but the ratio is kind of interesting. And I can tell you that the people I have met in those 18 months of putting people in ICE, what a journey. people who open up, hug you. It's not that hug where happy birthday, I like you.
Like you have to do it. Yeah.
Call me when you need something, You call those people, they will never reply. But it's those real deep hugs, and it's another answer to your question, what makes you happy? When people come in your house and they are anxious and 2 hours later they hug you and they have tears in their eyes and something changed like in just 2 hours. It's amazing. I mean, it just feels amazing.
Okay. Can you briefly walk us through that process? How it starts? What you do with people that makes them cry and eventually leave happy?
Yeah. Well, in 2000, I go back a little bit.
Of course.
So you can always cut it later. But
no censorship.
In 2019, I did different fastings. And we might come back on that. Mm-hmm. But in 2019, I said, I'll try all different fastings. So I did intermittent fasting for a while. I did 2-day fasting. I did 8-day fasting. I did dry fasting, fasting.
Dry fasting, no water, nothing.
Mm-hmm. Without doing anything. And then dry fasting with doing sport, to see how your body would react and all that, with the headaches attached to it, Mm-hmm. But just to learn what your body is capable of or not. That was 2019. 2019, I decided in 2020, I will test my limits on the temperature.
Just to get back to that fasting, were you looking for something particular or just experimenting?
Experimenting.
Okay.
Yeah. And may I ask what led you to start fasting?
Well, we are in a country where you fast every year,
Absolutely.
and maybe now it's a bit more leisurely done. But when I came here, you wanted to eat something at lunch, you really had to drive a long way to certain specific places. The DIFC didn't exist, so all that. I think the Dusit was the only one. They had a little coffee shop behind curtains, and it was dark, and it was like. You felt like you're doing something really wrong.
So the environment around you or the culture made you think, let me try.
I did fast with the people here also to experiment, but not so intensively and experimentally like I did in 2019. I also knew that it has a lot of health benefits, for your immune system. I mean, all religion fast. Mm-hmm. I mean, if you think about that, the Lent in the Catholics. And,
40 days.
40 days. Not the same way, but everybody has a kind of restrictive eating.
Sure.
And those religions are all over 1,000 years old, so they must have had some good reasons to do that. And if you read about fasting, it's amazing what your body can do under a stressful situation. Yeah. How you heal, how you clean, how you destroy bad cells and recreate through autophagy and all that. So. Does that reply to your question, why fasting? Or was your question, why fasting?
Yeah, my question was more about, which you've answered basically, what made you start the journey in 2019 to start experimenting these? Like what motivated you to do that or what enhanced that thought in your mind? Yeah.
Well, it's experimenting, but also to feel those health benefits, which I had read about. Mm-hmm. And I grew up in a Catholic environment where we fast, and I was transferred in a Muslim environment where they take the fasting much more serious. Mm. And you see how it changes certain people, how they focus mentally, and how physically and mentally change in 28 days. So from the fasting, I thought that it was quite a great experiment. So I said, what do I do next year? Mm-hmm. And then it came hot and cold. So because we are in a very hot environment, I wanted to see how much can I take because I came here, I was like, I come from Switzerland, when it's 32 degrees, we die, we have no AC and it's horrible. And you come here and then 32 is like
it's February.
It's
right now. It is right now.
And then say, how will I survive, and then the first year was a bit tough, and then obviously July, August, you leave the country because you can't take it. So the challenge was, I made it relatively easy. I said, I'm going to run 1 hour in the desert every week.
At what time?
I left that open. Okay. I gave some flexibility to that, but I had to run 1 hour per week in the desert.
Wow.
And, in January, it's quite nice.
Of course.
July, August, less.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay. But can I do it or not? Is it mental? I mean, because you're not going to go from 10 degrees to 50 degrees. You're going to go gradually to 26, 27, 29, 30, 32. And every week, the difference is not going to be that much.
Yeah, well, I think there's actually like a general rule in Dubai that the weather kind of changes either up or down a degree by week.
Exactly.
Roughly.
So you say when you put the fish in water and you heat up the water very slowly, he will die.
We were talking about it last week, and apparently this is not true analogy.
It's not true?
I don't know. Chris said it's not true. I don't know.
But it's
a
saying.
good theory.
It's a saying, and apparently when you put the fish in hot water, he will jump out.
Yeah.
So I wanted to see if I will not feel the difference. Hopefully not die.
If you will jump out.
Not exactly. So that was the challenge for 2020. And then I said, okay, on the cold side, what do? You Google ice therapy, Wim Hof comes up, So in November, I did the online course with Wim Hof, and I started to put my hands in ice. So in February or March, I was going to go to Poland and to do the retreat with Wim Hof, and then see what happens, So that was the hot cold thing. I did my hands. It was so hard, and they said that's the only preparation you can do to go into ice bath, full body. I did it like 40 times, and then in January here in Dubai, I did my first ice bath, and it was very comfortable.
May I ask, January 2020 or January 21?
2020.
2020.
Because you said 2 years of treating people, but okay.
Yeah.
So that was before COVID.
That was me. That was just before COVID. And I did that only for me. Mm-hmm. Okay. The hot and the cold was
and you didn't, I guess you didn't get to go to Poland, right?
No.
Because of the COVID.
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly.
So why 40? Was it a part of the training to have 40 sessions, or do you actually
No, because it was so painful. And I always said, if I'm not comfortable with putting my hands, how will I do my whole body?
And for how long did you put your hands?
2-3 minutes.
And that was that painful?
Wow. It's horrible.
I can tell you that we did that together, and I did it also a couple of times on my own. I have a bigger problem with hands only than full body.
Oh. That's the thing. I didn't know that.
Control on your body. You have a control on your body.
I don't know why is it.
You actually, when you do your full body, we advise people to put their hands under their knees to protect them. Mm-hmm. Okay. And then the second worst thing is the feet. But people are typically, when they have the full body and they are so stressed that they don't feel their feet. So they are not cold.
Feet are usually not much of a problem for me, but the hands, even in the ice, like I don't put them under armpits or under the knees, because that's the only really like challenge that I have at this point. Okay, it's the hands. So I'm trying to move them a little bit. It's the most peripheral thing, right? Mm-hmm. So the circulation, it's different.
And the most sensors. And
it's the nail beds that hurt, like around the nails. That's the most
freeze.
Yeah. And it also hurts once you're warming it up after, right? When the blood is rushing back. Yeah.
That's actually painful.
Yeah, it is painful. That's the whole experience, right?
Yeah.
So why should people do it?
Well, I did it to challenge and to experiment again, after the fasting, then the temperature thing. And then I bought a bucket And then COVID came. And then I live in a compound with 12 villas. And one is a scuba diver instructor and free diving instructor. One is a hula hoop teacher. One was a yoga teacher. One trains people for circus.
What a mix.
Exactly. And I started ice baths. So everybody was doing something. The others were, organizing movie nights, pizza nights, sardine nights, like we had an amazing time during COVID. And amongst the 12 villas, I was the guy who would do the ice baths like once a week for everyone.
Okay.
I had no idea what I was doing. I wasn't an instructor of anything like that. I said, I've done it once for 2 minutes. You can try. Full disclaimer, We had no idea what we were doing. And they were my guinea pigs.
Oh, wow.
And they started, and some people hated it and some people loved it. And then, can I bring my friends? No, we said during COVID, nobody enters our compound. No gardeners were allowed to come even. No nannies living outside. We closed the compound to be conform. Mm-hmm. But within our compound, we did, I started free diving then.
Oh, wow. Because breathing is part of that.
Exactly. Slightly different breathing, but we might come back to that. That was quite a funny story in Fujairah.
Sure.
That's how it started. And then, COVID was very strict at some point, and then it opened up a little bit. And then my neighbor said, can I bring my friends? And then the friends said, this is amazing. I heard about Wim Hof and all that. And in June, somebody told me, come, let's put an Instagram account. Okay. And tell the people what you're doing, because this is healthy. This is good for people, and then you read about, anxiety. Everybody was anxious during COVID, because we knew, maybe we know.
Well, we didn't know anything.
We didn't know anything. I don't know if we know more today, but we didn't know anything.
That's a very good point.
We didn't know anything. And when you don't know, it's like, that's very uncomfortable.
It is. It was.
Yeah. And some people got really anxious, and stressed. They found themselves going out of the house in the morning, the wife one side, him one side, the kids at school, and they found themselves in the house, in some instances with the mother-in-law, in small apartments, and they didn't know which one to shoot first, the mother-in-law, the wife, or yourself. So, stressful situations. I mean, or for some people, unknown situations they have never been confronted with.
True.
And we very quickly realized that the ice releases a lot of that. Mm-hmm. So anything you create yourself, like anxiety or stress or anger or any kind of feelings, that it releases on the ice because you think you die.
Mm-hmm. And there's a bigger danger than the anxiety, which is the fear of death.
Yeah. And some people actually come out of the ice and say, how was it? I thought I would die. That comes. And then when you come from very low back to normal, you want to live.
The appreciation.
Yeah. So it's
the same
if you
thing,
are
right?
poor,
if you die every day, every week, just a little bit, you will appreciate the life way more.
Yeah. It's you don't appreciate to be rich if you haven't been poor, right?
Absolutely.
So you need that delta, you need that change, and in the ice it happens in 30, 40 seconds, a minute and a half max. And the people go through that journey, and then they come out with huge amount of dopamine. Andrew Huberman says they tested on people who did 4 minutes of ice bath. It's the same level than when you take cocaine. You are 250% of your normal dopamine level.
Wow.
And that explains when people come out of the ice bath, they You tell me, you want to go up the Burj Khalifa now? We run it. Yes, I do it twice.
That percentage stays high for how long?
I don't know. But I think. I don't know. But I know that it stays longer than cocaine.
Mm-hmm.
So you're I don't know. I have tried, but I think the cocaine stays 3-4 hours or something.
I
have no idea.
I don't know. Have you had anybody who did both that they could actually compare? Or you yourself?
It had no effect on me.
Cocaine or the
cocaine? Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know. I only know somebody who did LSD compared the breathing to LSD, like losing complete control of the thing. But no, it's also very sensitive to ask people, you know, do you have any comparison?
I think they will release it only when they feel comfortable.
Yeah.
Well, that would be some epic study to be done.
Yeah, maybe not here. But,
probably not here. Maybe you can do the ice part here as the people somewhere else.
But no, I mean, without wanting to compare with any other drugs also, it's something you create. It's the happy hormone, and the energy hormone. It's not a bad thing to be high on dopamine.
I would actually say, or at least from my perspective, I agree that it's not a bad thing. It depends where the dopamine is coming from. Because you can get also dopamine from the likes on Instagram. You can get a little shots of dopamine from ticking the box on your task list. Yeah. And it really depends. Like, is it something you did or is it something that just happened? So is it that you overcame that extreme stress of ice or sauna or whatever the extreme was, or the oxygen deficiency when you breathe, right? Yeah. Is it you doing that and that's why you have dopamine, or you just take a substance that gives you the dopamine externally?
Yeah.
Because that's
do you have to work for it, or you take the pill?
Did you deserve it?
Yeah.
Did you work for it and did you deserve it?
Absolutely. That's a big difference.
I have one kind of line I want to go into it. That's brain waves. I don't know how much you are working with that. When we are in a certain mental states, we can measure different brain waves.
Yes.
Yeah, like let's say delta waves, that's the deep sleep, and theta waves, that's on the edge of being awake and still sleeping. It's like, you know, when you're driving and you're like, oh, I'm here, and you don't even know how it happened. That's your theta waves. And then it becomes interesting. We have alpha waves that are kind of a meditative state. Then you have beta waves, which are the only waves where we can feel negative emotion, and that is our action. That is when we actually do stuff, when we actually go after something. Mm-hmm. And after we pass beta waves, with overcoming adversity, there's multiple levels, like depth into the beta waves. Then we can reach gamma. And gamma, it's that epiphany. That's the reaching to the goal. That's when the dopamine might be released. Yeah. But what a lot of people are trying to do, I experienced it on myself with also ice bath, also training, and seen it on other people. They go into that discomfort situation and they try to like meditate themselves out of it. They want to go back to alpha waves. They want to lower the frequency and go to the alpha, and then like, no, I'm okay, nothing's going on. But that's not the point, because you do it to overcome something. Mm-hmm. And only if you overcome that, you can reach the gamma. And that's the epiphany. So that's the same thing as we are talking now. It really depends where that ecstasy at the end is coming from. If it's coming from us dealing with the discomfort and whatever that is implied on us.
Making an effort.
Yeah. Making an effort with active conscious effort overcoming it. Yes. And therefore reaching the gamma waves. Yeah.
Or taking a substance without any effort.
Yeah. And that's also with the pushing with the training.
Yeah.
You can like endure it. Just do it so it's done. Yeah. You can go to that cold shower just so it's done. Or you can really stay there, breathe through it and embrace it. Right.
And love it.
Yeah. And that's the difference between fight and flight.
Yeah.
Because they are not the same. It's very different if you are the hunter or you are hunted. Right? You still run. You still might run, but it's very different if you are the one who is chasing the prey or you are the prey.
The position of power.
Exactly. It's just that basically perspective. Yeah, that perspective will create the reality of whether you are overcoming something and beating the situation, being the winner, or you just avoid it and, find a shortcut.
May I ask, please, you mentioned dopamine as a substance. Why do people would actually consume it?
No, you can't. It's created in the brain.
Yeah.
Okay,
but you can do, even chocolate will give you dopamine. Sugar will give you dopamine.
Oh, okay. So you're talking about a source of happiness that comes at you because of a product that you consume.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought it was pills that were taken.
No,
okay. That's why I was confused. I was like, why would someone take it?
It's a hormone.
Yeah.
As far as I know, there is no pure dopamine in any synthetic form, but you are getting it through a lot of substances that are.
Hence why I asked, because it was very, very overwhelming to think about it. Like, why would someone take it? Yeah.
What are the other ways you can create this kind of discomfort? What you do with people?
I love to take people out of their comfort zone. I told you that. They are the hot, the cold, the fasting, the breathing. Those are the 4 elements I use and they are somehow linked to each other. And sometimes I use them in combination. But those are the 4 things I do. So the breathing is either do extreme breathing to tackle certain chemical reaction in your body, or to stop breathing, or to reduce your breathing, to open your capillaries, or breathing techniques when we do hiking. People, when they hike, you are a hiker, yes. So still a lot of people hike with their mouth open, and they breathe through their mouth. And the faster I go with them, the more they breathe through the mouth. And I tell them to breathe through the nose, and the reaction is, I can't, And until they learn to breathe through the nose, and then suddenly they realize how calmer the whole thing is and how faster they can go.
Absolutely.
And you don't have to have altitude sickness if you do proper breathing, because altitude sickness is a lack of oxygen in your brain. But if you breathe properly, you won't have that. So it's making the people uncomfortable, because people breathe through their mouths when they do an effort. I see it on Kite Beach when people run, they all breathing through their mouths, and people who run really fast. If they knew that they could run faster with breathing through their nose, I don't tell them, otherwise I look really slow. So, the breathing is one thing. I think the fasting we briefly experienced. We talked about the ice. We talked about
how are you pushing the fasting on, or how are you providing fasting to people? Because that's like the other elements I understand. You can do the breathing techniques, you can put them into sauna, you can put them into ice. But how you make them fast?
Well, I never forced anyone to go into the ice, and I'm not forcing anybody to do anything. No, but
you're giving them the tools. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I did the first experience was a month ago. I took 8 people up in the mountain to do a 5-day fasting.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
And
activities in between. They stayed active, or they just stayed there for
full of activities. So because if you fast and you want to be active, you want to see results, you shouldn't change too much of your lifestyle. So they hated me that I woke them up early in the morning to see the sunrise in the morning. I wanted them to get the first light in their eyes, to get their circadian rhythm properly. So an hour and a half hike in the morning. Then we would do some breathing. We would do meditation. Everybody got a massage every day. You need to also to comfort them. We did painting. We watched videos about people who are specialized in certain area of fasting, detoxing, liver flush. All little videos from and then we looked at movies at night. We talked about stuff. We did coaching. We did exercises together. We had yoga. We had acupuncture for a couple of days. We had cupping.
Oh, wow.
So they had no time to eat, actually.
And the purpose of the fasting was to stay for 5 days without food, or like you had to break in between, or what kind of fasting was it?
We broke the fast after 5.5 days of only liquid.
Only liquids,
yeah.
Okay. Which was essential for the practice.
Liquid was only water?
Water and tea.
Water and tea.
Yeah.
Why specifically tea?
No calories. Oh, different tea, because you can't drink water all the time. You need some minerals and all that. So they had I gave them some supplements. And then hibiscus tea, sage tea, cinnamon tea.
What kind of supplements?
It was spirulina and grease, some minerals, which is also detoxing at the same time. And then on the third day, we did a liver flush with Epsom salt to get all the fat out of the liver.
Well, when you said that it's ideal when people fasting not to change much, but basically they changed all their life for their 5 days because nobody's doing this, right? Or nobody's living like this.
Yeah, you're right. No, but I mean, I didn't want the people to be like in a situation where they say, "Oh, I'm fasting, I can't do anything." Okay, so you need to keep active.
So it made them forget that they are hungry because of all the activities.
If you have nothing to do, if we read a book. One of the targets of the week was to read a book, which everybody did. So they had a lot of things to do. So you don't think too much about the food. We talked about the food all the time, though. But,
of course, that's a common.
That's
idea.
typical.
That's typical. Yeah, with food or without food, you'll be talking about food, especially in hiking, because you always think about that. Oh, I'm actually doing an exercise. I'm burning that much. I deserve that much. I deserve that much. What was the goal of this? Is to get the result as a feeling right after the experience or a few days after that?
So I interviewed the people when they arrived in the mountain.
Okay.
And I said, "Why are you here?" And some people said I wanted to detox physically. Some people said I wanted to detox mentally to get rid of media but everybody was like, I want to lose some weight, And the person who wanted to lose was number one was lose weight. She lost the least. Mm-hmm. And so I asked her on the 6th day, I said, are you disappointed that you lost only 3 kilos versus the other guy who lost 7 kilos in 5 days? And she says, "No, this does so not matter. What matters is how I feel." And she was 62. I said, she still is 62. She's 62.
So she made it.
She made it, yeah. And she had never fasted in her life.
Uh-huh.
And she said, "I was so scared because I thought I would not be able to do it." She's a very strong woman, but never had experienced fasting. And then first day I asked her, "How are you?" She said, "Yeah, it's just the first day, it was okay, but I'm not sure I can do it tomorrow." And then the second day, I said, "Well, actually today was easier than the first day." And then the third day, he said, I'm not hungry, anymore. And then the fourth day, it's like, Feeling great.
It is. It's usually the first couple of days.
Yeah, you get the
headache,
headaches. Yeah,
absolutely.
because
If
I
you're
drink a
tired.
lot of coffee. I had like a horrible headache. Oh, I had a yoga teacher, the Chinese doctor, the masseuse, and my assistant. I told them we all fast. The Chinese doctor said, I cannot fast. She stayed only 2 days. And the masseuse, she said, I need a lot of energy. I cannot fast. But the yoga teacher and Roy, Roy had never fasted. He's a Filipino. You know, for Filipinos to get together is eating. And he said, I cannot fast. I said, you have to fast because we don't want to be in a situation where the people say, it's easy for you because you're not fasting. For us, it's so hard. So, I said, we don't want that. We are fasting with them.
So people who were there, they physically had an access to food if they really wanted?
That's what I was going to
Only
ask.
the Thai masseuse. She had her food and she would not share with anyone.
I have 2 questions. First of all, this was a raw kind of an experience where they were in a camp spot or they were in a hotel or
No, we were up in the mountain. There was nothing.
Okay, perfect.
I mean,
So-
goats, but
perfect. Well,
So they would have to catch it, slaughter it.
slaughter, cook it. You know, like,
I don't think they'll slaughter. There's no time.
no, there is nothing. You know, like you are in Europe in the nature. There are apple trees, and you know, and
Okay.
there's things. But
So this led me to get probably half of the answer for the question which follows, because you said she was scared of fasting, despite because human beings, if they know, even if I'm fasting, I'm still I know that I'm close to food, like it's close to me. But since they are in a raw kind of a spot, the food is too far. Like there's no supply. So I think this is why they were worried. Oh, she was worried. That's it.
yeah, maybe.
Okay.
I had
Maybe she had Snickers in her backpack and she ate them at night. That's why she lost only 3 kilos. No. Everybody took it quite like, you know, and the team, you know, like everybody, how do you feel, etc. That helps quite a lot.
I think it helps. Yes,
Yeah.
of course. The same energy is going towards the same direction. Yeah.
It was a great experience. So the guy who lost 7 kilos, he's a professional cook on yachts. You know, quite stressful, you know.
Job, I know. It takes
People who have high demand, you know. And he came to distress, but he lost 7 kilos. And I happened to know his girlfriends for a few years. So I asked her, how is he? And she, you know, imagine your boyfriend goes away for 6 days and he loses 6 kilo. That changes
a lot.
yeah, right? She did not mention how much he lost weight. She said if I remember correctly, she said he looks healthy. He looks happy. He has a shine in his eyes I have never seen before. And his skin is smooth. She doesn't mention the weight. Yeah.
Well, but those 4 is a big deal.
It's
In a week.
It's so much better than losing weight. You
Of
know,
course.
losing weight is a detail. You know, you can lose weight by many ways, but to
course.
detox your body, to relax, to
Be happy and
like
have
this-
shiny eyes.
I was so happy. I was so happy because I said, you know, the people are concentrating on the wrong thing. They want to lose weight rather than change the constitution of their body mass, you know.
And
Which,
these markers, what you said, that equals health.
exactly.
You know,
absolutely.
skin, mood, yeah, that equals health. Not
The skin, you know,
skin.
that's the only organ she could see.
Oh, yeah.
It's the only visible organ you have, you know.
Absolutely.
She couldn't see the heart. She couldn't see the liver. She couldn't see the kidneys.
I think whatever organs are talking through his eyes because she said he had shiny eyes.
Yeah.
that's. I think. I mean, this is again a little bit of my voodoo shit, but I think eyes are a lot connected with liver.
Well, the eyes are part of your brain. It's the only part of your brain which is accessible directly.
Yeah.
But, yeah, everything is connected to the liver. You know, if your blood, if you have hepatitis, you get yellow eyes.
Yeah.
And after the liver flush, the people got like really white eyes.
When
When they
you
saw themselves in the mirror, you know, it's like,
What is liver flush?
it's a very simple thing. Some people say, you know, you shouldn't do that too often and all that. You always find, if you Google it, you will find, but I've done it a few times. It feels amazing. So you take Epsom salt, At 6 o'clock, you take Epsom salt. At 8 o'clock at night. At 10 o'clock, you take 100 ml of olive oil.
So this is PM.
PM.
This is PM.
So 6 p.m. Epsom salt, 8 p.m. Epsom salt, 10 p.m. 100 ml olive oil, and mixed with 100 ml of grapefruit juice.
Okay.
You drink that, you go to bed and lay on your right side. And then the process starts.
Do you feel it?
Well, you have, because it's the most efficient is if you fast before, so it doesn't go anywhere else than where it should go. So if you want to do that at home, it's good if you like at least 2 days, basically only drink soups or something like that. You don't have to fast completely,
food,
but just maybe cooked vegetables or so, but very, very light. So it accesses. So you lay down there and then the process starts. Some of the people who had never done anything like that, they went to the toilet about 10 times during the night. And they hadn't eaten for 3 days. They didn't know where this oil was coming from. It flushes
residuals.
But it you actually you see little yellow balls. The size of how do you call it? A pin. Those little pins about that size, maybe twice the size. Little yellow ones, which is fat, which comes from your gallbladder and from your liver. So it defats your liver. And to finish the process, in the morning at 6 a.m., another Epsom salt, and at 8 a.m., another Epsom salt, and then it flushes the rest. And that's the process. It only takes 12 hours to do it, but then
with some prep before.
Some prep before. And yes, some people were quite weak that day. So
it's important to do it at night. It was like the first thing that came into my mind, that I don't want to be woken up 10 times overnight because I want my sleep. Well, that's me. So
the yoga teacher and me, we didn't, because we had done it before, and she's very healthy, much more than me. But I had done it like maybe 4 years ago. And I reduced my drinking patterns substantially since. So I was actually, I didn't get up all night. And the other guy also, we only went to the loo like twice in the morning. That's it.
How often would
But you want to be close to a bathroom.
Can imagine.
You don't want to go, nobody wanted to go on a hike in the morning. I said, who wants to go for a hike? No.
Individually, maybe, if something going on.
It's again debatable how often should you do that. It should be the start of a lifestyle change. Okay, the lady was 62. She had never done anything like that, and she likes her wine every day, 1 glass, 2 glass. Dinner, maybe half a bottle, maybe more. She drinks.
We are like 100% abstinent, so this is not.
So for
this
her,
is not audience for
her, she was like, it was tough on her.
Wow.
She has a fatty liver.
That would be very interesting to see the difference between people who drink regularly and people who I have a twin brother. Yeah. And he drinks occasionally.
Yeah.
I don't drink at all.
It's not just alcohol. It's all the food. You can have a fatty liver for different things, but alcohol typically, the people who drink a lot have fatty livers. So it's quite a good example to bring. But you can eat shit all day and you will also have a fatty liver.
You can have fatty liver even from too much fruit.
Yeah, exactly.
That's non-alcohol induced fatty liver. It's actually called. Yeah.
And you don't have to be fat to have a fatty liver.
Yep.
It's sometimes he's fat, he must have a fatty liver. No, it's not necessarily. You have very skinny people who have fatty livers. You have actually people who drink a lot who are very skinny.
Yeah, well, that eventually shrinks.
So how often should you do that? You actually shouldn't do it often, because if you do that, you should feel how better you feel and change your lifestyle for the better, right?
That's why I was asking, because some extremists can you know how people are. They would rather do this every weekend, but they drink all week.
That's terrible.
I was in banking for many years, and some of my brokers who I used in London, they had that January where they would not drink, and one of the brokers, he would only drink bone broth in January, and he would lose 12-15 kilos in January. But in December, every December, he would just be a little bit heavier than the year before. So that's useless. I mean, it's better that he does that than nothing, but it's not the purpose of living healthy for a month to live a terrible life for 11 months. So
I had one teacher who had this saying to these kind of examples. It's like kissing a dead person. Yeah, it doesn't hurt. It doesn't help either.
It's horrible. I just thought about it.
Too much imagination.
I think the person you just mentioned is taking that month for granted, thinking, you know what, I can actually lose that much in a month time, so why not live as much as I want? So, you know, that's I think that's a habit in human beings in general, where we do things and thinking, it's easy for me to do it, so I'll take things for granted.
Yeah, how does a person like that define quality of life?
But he doesn't define quality of life,
right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
well, I heard something once,
he defines his wife says you're fat, maybe, you know. So okay, I'll lose 15 kilos, but he's not healthier.
No,
he's just healthier during that month. He's getting healthier, and then he does the worst thing the rest of the 11 months. So, to go back to your question, how often should you do that? You shouldn't do it often. It should be a life-changing experiment. But then you have those people, they just do it repeatedly because they do the wrong things again.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's like some people do colonics, you know, and if you go to... I always go to my Chinese doctor. She's against colonics. She said you shouldn't touch that flora, and if you do it, you should only do it like maybe every 3 years or so to clean it, and then not do it. But again, I know people who do colonics all the time because they are searching for something at the wrong place.
Life hack. Life hack.
Yeah.
They think it's a life hack that will quick fix.
Fix. Yeah.
But are they happy?
Would you be after that procedure?
I don't think so. I know the procedure and I know how it looks like. Yeah. I never tried it, but I don't know. The reason why I asked, are they happy? Because someone who does it that much, I'm sure they're seeking for something. But did they get to that result?
No, it's the people who, you know people who have done who are on a diet the last 10 years and they never managed. Or the people who have been trying to stop smoking for the last 15 years. And in January, they do it for 4 days and then, next January. So it's a mental thing at the end of the day. Do you really want to change?
That's the question.
So, any procedure will not help.
Or why? What is the actual reason? Right? Because if the driver is not right, if the decision is not coming actually from you, if you, let's say, do it for somebody or because somebody said something and you temporarily feel bad about it, it will only last until you don't feel bad about it anymore. And that fades away pretty quickly.
I had a GM who stopped smoking by reading a book. So he just was curious about what kind of book is this. I don't know. I'm not really sure how it started, that thought of him to read the book. And he just stopped smoking forever.
Was the book related to non-smoking?
Yes.
Okay.
So
I heard
not just a random book.
I don't remember what the book is, but I heard a few people who read that book and they stopped.
Yeah, he said the writer made you hate smoking, or made him hate smoking gradually. He took him through the journey and he lived it. And he decided, you know what? I actually want to live that journey as well.
So he learned to hate it.
Yes. He learned, to hate it, then dislike it, then stop it, basically. And he took it for this, forever. Well, sorry, I had to mention this just as the fact that you want to change or you don't want to change. And he took the decision, I want to change because it's better for me.
But then the question is,
He lost weight.
I would be curious, was he reading the book or he started reading the book with actual intention of stopping smoking, or he was just curious about the book and it just somehow unfolded?
Unfortunately, that I don't know.
Okay.
I should actually have asked them next time I'm seeing him.
And do you know the book?
I don't smoke, so I don't know the book, but I think it's a familiar book with everyone who wants to stop smoking.
If you can find out, send it to me, and I'll post it to the comment section. Then.
Sure.
Okay.
Sure.
Oh, cool. So, Benoit, I want to ask you about what all these things you do have in common is the discomfort, right? Fasting, icing, sauna,
breathing
and breathing.
Well, it's not discomfort to everyone, but sometimes more, sometimes less. But the ultimate goal is to make people healthy. And I think if you are healthy, you ask people, what's the most important thing in your life? You do that like a chart, money, job, family, whatever. It's very often family, but health is second, if not first. So all of these help people to be healthier, to be more conscious of their health.
Is it necessary through that physiological impact, or is it partly, from your experience, just the fact that they impose that experience on themselves? They put themselves intentionally into a situation which they dislike at first, and then they overcome that, and that might give them, let's say, power to overcome different things in their life eventually, because they build that mental resilience. Or is it from your perspective truly that individual health benefits of breathing, health benefits of fasting, health benefits of icing and sauna?
So it's typically people who I think want to live a healthier life, and they have heard of one or the other. I mean, not everybody. A lot of people know that sauna and then cooling down increases the immune system, right? I think a lot of people. My grandmother told me to take cold showers, right? Mm-hmm. So it's something known here in the Middle East, even though some people hate it, but from your family experience, from history, that fasting is a good thing for you, mm-hmm. right? So those are all benefits to your health in one way or another. The thing which they have in common is it has health benefits, but they also, it's this short-term stress you put in your body.
That's what I meant by the discomfort.
Yeah. And, you have, there are not many ways to stress your body. I mean, we need to differentiate between bad stress and good stress. So bad stress is bullying in school. Bad stress is when you have financial difficulties. Bad stress is when somebody in your family is going through an operation, or somebody dies. Those are, you're grieving. That's not good stress, But on the other hand, we have positive stress. They are typically short-lived. Like we know that it's healthier to do 20 minutes of high intensity program than running 100K every day.
You don't have to tell us about that. Yeah.
I say you know, not everybody knows that. People think, it's important to do a lot of sports. No, you need to do what is right for you.
Yep.
And we know today that doing high intensive sports, but a short period of time, it's much better for your body than those
impact.
Extreme things. The ice, we put people between 2 and 8 minutes, It is stressful, but it's short. In the sauna, how long do you stay? 10, 15 minutes? I have some Russians, they stay 25 minutes.
Well,
Russians.
yeah, I'm just surprised.
Oh my God.
Extremist.
The fasting is slightly different, but again, we're not restrain ourselves from food for a year. We're doing it for a day, 2 days, 3 days, 4 days, 5, 8 days.
Basically, from the intensity perspective versus the
normal.
The normal, it's short. Yeah?
It's relatively short.
Relatively short.
Yeah. So all these days also the to stop breathing. You can only do that for 1, 2, 3, 4 minutes, or if you go into deep diving, we might go back there. Maybe a little bit longer if you find this meditative state and you find some techniques. But again, what's the world record? 21 minutes or something like that?
Probably yes.
Something like that.
Around that.
With pure oxygen inhale, but if I think without pure oxygen, it's like 12 minutes. Again, it's super stressful for your body, but it increases certain things during that time, which opens up where you can do things after which you are not able to.
Just to explain, pure oxygen inhale means that the person who did hold the breath for 21 minutes was inhaling air that was 100% oxygen.
Yeah.
For a while before he
did the attempt, or let's say, yes, it was actual dive.
I don't know if he was static or I don't know.
I'm not sure as well.
Because I just from my perspective, I would say that if you move, you definitely can't go as long as if you're static, just because you're spending so much, right?
Of course, yeah.
So
I doubt
if it's a world record.
Yeah, I doubt it's diving, because when you dive, the deeper you go, the smaller your lungs become, and the consumption of oxygen
because
is
of
higher.
The pressure.
Yes, that absolutely. And so basically on Earth, on ground, we have 1 bar pressure on our body. While diving, every 10 meters below water is an extra bar. So if you're on 10 meters, you have 2 bars. The pressure from
double.
Double, exactly. So the more you go, the smaller your lungs become, and the less time you spend. So while scuba diving, when you're on 30 meters, you stay for certain minutes, let's say 15, maybe 20 minutes, and then you'll have to go up. While you're on 10 or 12 meters, you can stay as long.
How?
Of course, as long as that's static.
Do you have to go to a decompression chamber after how much depth?
Chambers are basically for incidents.
Okay.
Like the altitude sickness, it's a sickness. So if you go through that issue that I forgot the name of it, to be honest, underwater. I've been diving since 2013, so I probably have I need a refresher of knowledge, but I know how to scuba dive. So yeah, it's because of it's you an issue. Let's say that's why you go through the chamber.
That's like when it's already wrong, you need to go to the chamber.
Exactly,
all right.
Yeah. I have a couple of questions, if you don't mind me asking. When people come to you, do you sit down and consult with them of what they need from those 4 exercises? Or they come to you with this target, and let's suppose I come to you, I'm like, I want the ice bath. But then, do you ask me why I need it?
No.
Oh, you just go ahead with it. Okay. Then.
Next question.
Okay. No, because I remember.
No, we offer different experiences. So, before the people come and everybody has access to what we do. You Google, but some people they Google and don't understand, or they don't Google and they
don't understand.
Or they just want to ask questions, or they want confirmation of that what they read was right.
Okay.
I had a heart attack 6 months ago. Can I go in the ice, or is it a problem if I have my period? Can I go in the ice bath? Things like that. So we tell them, yes, you can. And then we might have the discussion, why do you want to do it? And when they do come, we do groups, and we have like this introduction. You see, why are you so nervous? I say, I'm so scared. So why are you here if you're so scared? I heard it's so good for, to get rid of anxiety, and I'm anxious, very anxious right now. So I said, it will help, but wait after the breathing, you will be already like super, super distressed.
Okay.
So we go into that discussion, but if the people ask, we answer to them. But in general, like 60% of the people who come and do that ice bath experience, they want to experience that ice bath and see how it feels. They never come back. I would also say that 80% of the people come specifically for the ice bath, but about 60% of the people who leave, because we asked, what was the best thing today?
Like feedback.
Well, the feedback, and 60% of the people say, I didn't know I could breathe like that. So they don't mention the ice. It was the best experience was the breathing. So they come for this ice bath. Can I do it? Can I put that picture on my Instagram and show people that I did it? They never show people on their breathing, it's a boring picture. So
because it's just them lying. Nobody knows that it's fourth minute.
Yeah, there's no dopamine, nothing, So, but no, we talk about that. There's a lot of question coming during the session, like, I feel so relaxed. And I say, well, do push-ups now. No. Why should I do push-ups? I say, because you will never do so many push-ups than now, because they're full of adrenaline. No, I don't feel like doing push-ups. I say, how many can you normally do? I've never done more than 20. And then they do 20 and I say, keep going. And they do 30, 35. Oh my God, so the people don't know what's happening in their body.
Okay.
So then the question come up, why you can do so many push-ups, and I said, well, you try too, and then we talk about what's happening in your body, that the alkaline level goes up, the adrenaline comes from your pineal gland and other. So then the people start to be interested what is happening here, but they don't know before they experience.
Okay. Who is not allowed in one of those? So let's say in the ice bath, who's not allowed to go in? Are there restrictions?
So this Wim Hof experience, Wim Hof method experience, which is like breathing and going into ice baths. On the breathing, the only people who should not do that breathing method, the Wim Hof breathing, are pregnant people, pregnant women, because you should not have the fetus deprived of air. Okay, because there's breath hold. That's the only thing you should not do.
And can they do the ventilation without excessive hold? Let's say they will hold like 20 seconds only after.
It's a good question. If you only do the intensive breathing, you're basically gonna pass out at some point. So
yeah, I don't mean doing it 10 minutes straight.
But still, if you do it and you don't hold your breath, where you consume the oxygen and you bring back the level.
Okay, got it.
You will pass out, and I don't think that's good if you're pregnant either.
I would say it's not.
But consult your doctor before you do it. That's always the good disclaimer. But that's the only indication. I've through the research we've gone through on the ice bath. People are often scared when they have heart problems, But I had people who had heart attacks recently after that. Before that, sorry.
Oh, wow.
Before that, and they were a bit scared to do it. And I said, look, just go in for a minute. It's not going to
raise your heartbeats.
No, it's going to lower your heartbeat, and it's just 1 or 2 minutes. So after that, you come out and then you see how you feel, and then you can go back 1 or 2 minutes and come out. And
or maybe starting with feet and hands only.
Yeah, I think just do it gradually.
How did they feel? How did they feel after?
His sister was next to him, and he's 58. And she said, you shouldn't do that. You shouldn't do that. I want to do it. He did it for 2 minutes. And she was like watching him, and he came out and said, I feel like reborn.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
In 2 minutes.
Yeah, after 2 minutes. Now he does 6-7 minutes.
Impressive.
Yeah. And he feels good.
But he's still careful. Or now he became confident.
No, he's super confident. He
Sometimes confidence is scary.
He feels that it's doing good to him. You know, he's listening to his body. He's changed everything in his life. He stopped working.
So that's the reason. Okay.
He wants to change his life.
Perfect.
His diet changed the thing. He said, I want to live. I don't want to die now.
See, to be honest, I'm putting lines below. The reason why I asked you those questions was to understand the purpose. And you've mentioned it earlier, is that it only works with people who wants to actually benefit from, like they want to do a change in their life. And there you go. He came in.
I told you 60% of the people, they just want to tick the box of the ice bucket. I haven't talked about the other 40%. Okay. This guy is one of the other 40%. Okay. And in those 40%, you have people, they have something specific. There's a guy, almost a neighbor of mine. He has Parkinson. And he said, is it dangerous to do ice baths with Parkinson? I said, I have no clue. And so I researched, I can't find anything. And he said, well, I read that it could potentially help. I said, look, there's so little thing about Parkinson. There's very little research. There's no medication really which works. It's all on a trial error. And I said, listen, come, see how you feel. And so he came now the third time. I said, why you keep coming? He said, I have no idea if it does anything to my Parkinson, but I feel amazing. I said, well, in the worst case, you feel amazing. Maybe it does nothing to your Parkinson.
If that's the worst case, it's pretty good.
It's good, no? So, we had a guy, he was on the inhaler for asthma every day. And he came one weekend, second weekend, third weekend. I got off the inhaler.
Bless.
That's pretty cool. No?
You're giving us a lot of knowledge.
No, that's not knowledge. It's just what is happening. Knowledge. You can Google and see what ice bath is good for, and there's pages and pages and pages now which is coming out.
Excellent.
for that. But I've lived it, and so out of those 40%, you have people who they had the condition, they cured it, and they're not coming anymore. They came for a specific reason. And then you have people, I have a few people, they come once a month, once a week, up to 3 times a week. There's a guy, I did the 30-30 challenge in November. And so it was not 30-30, it was 33. So 30 days, 3-minute ice baths every day. Okay, I had 16 people. 7 of them did the 30. A few started a few days later and did all the days from them on. And a few, that's 3 people who it changed their life. The guy who does 3 times a week, he stopped smoking. He stopped his, he changed job. He got divorced 2 years ago. He was going through a difficult situation. And he started hiking and running. He wants to do a half Ironman in 2 years. That's his goal now. The guy is completely nuts. And he said the ice bath opened my eyes. So we have
literally life-changing experience.
for some. One was in a very dark site, and he said, when I went into the ice, I knew I don't want to die anymore.
Wow.
To that extent.
It's a local guy. He said, that was after the 30-day challenge. And he said, listen, I want to talk to you. And then we talked, and he explained what he has gone through. And he says that ice bath, the first time I went in, I knew I don't want to die anymore. Because he said, like 3 months ago, I was contemplating.
Okay.
I didn't do it, he said, but I was in a very dark place.
You don't know what's going to happen after, so that's great.
Oh, wow.
The reason why I'm asking about the 40%, do you collect this data and keep it as a knowledge for the future? Do you keep records of this? Do you pass the knowledge to maybe a research center about ice bathing?
No.
Do you think it would be something, because you said you mentioned a couple of conditions where there was a huge benefit for people?
I mean, it's a very valid point, but I'm a service provider of people to do credible research. You need to be an understanding of, when you do research, you need to tick these points, and you need to understand them and to put those right things together. If a medical center would want to cooperate with us, I would be delighted to do
Absolutely,
so.
I'm sure.
But the questions we ask are by no means at a research level where you could. It's more like experience,
Maybe the information could be for reviews but all I'm saying is, I'm listening now and I'm very interested. And you're telling me such information. I could go to a website and read people's experiences mentioned to your website I'm mentioning. And that will actually enhance me to experience it even more and understand the process.
It's a good point.
So,
it's a good point.
But I'm impressed. I'm sitting down over here and I'm honestly very impressed.
I have one question out of your observation, aside of any data collection or anything. Do you see, maybe for yourself, maybe something you're not sharing much with the people, certain patterns or individual characteristic traits on people that you're like, well, for this one, breathing would be better. For this one, ice bath would be better. Like if you have this kind of segregation that that maybe these people should not push the ice as much as they should do breathing, for example.
Oh, totally.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally. The setting in the thing is the people are laying down, but we always control them that they don't fall asleep, that they actually breathe, that they breathe properly, that they start with the belly. So we look at them. They don't know we look at them, that the waves, from the belly, chest and out. And then, so you see people start crying, or you see people, they just can't be still.
I'm one of those. You would see me starting with that.
You tell them that, to get into that meditative state, the first round, second round, it's important not to move. And it's not important to move, but it's, if your body starts being still and not moving, your mind will follow. Because there's that connection. So if you start not moving, your mind will start slowing down. And the more you move, the more oxygen you will use. And that's during the breath hold. So if you move, you can't hold your breath. So we tell the people still, and some people, they just can't. And everybody get a fly on their head, but some people, they accept the fly walking on their forehead, and the other people are, and moving, and so that tells you everything. That guy, he's
in a state.
The other one, he just can't switch off. Or the people who are like, after everyone looking their telephone, did I get a message? Those are the people who need it the most. It's not the person who is super relaxed and probably does meditation or does yoga or does something. It's the guy who just can't hold the breath, can't stay still, etc. So I typically give them, links on some YouTube and say, look, try that at home for a few times before if you want to come back and go to the next level, but do it a few times at home and see how you can do it.
Because just from my experience, everything what you said, I was like, yeah, that's
yes,
exactly
I did. It happened to me once.
When we did it together, when I came to your place, and I remember I had tingling on the breathing. I had tingling like everywhere, my jaw, nose, ears, and I mean I did some of the breathing and breath holds before, but never that intensively, right? So I start to hold my head because I couldn't contain it. I was just holding my head. I just remember you coming and you put my arms next to me. Just ignore it. Just ignore it. Just relax. And the other one, Timea, my girlfriend, she is very much into the breathing. She does it every morning for herself. And she's also doing I think she finished the Wim Hof seminar as well, the online one. I have so hard time doing it, especially when I feel I'm like kind of pressured by her. Like, oh, let's do it with me. I don't feel like doing it unless I feel like doing it. You know what I mean? But the ice, give me ice, I go anytime. Like that, I don't mind. We don't have water heater on. We always shower in cold. I don't mind doing the ice at all, but to kind of make myself to do the breathing, even though once I'm doing it, at the beginning I'm a little bit distracted, but then I can compose it and I can focus. But
you grow the most in doing things you don't like.
Yeah, I know. I know.
So
I know that very well.
Or I mean, maybe you just like the ice. That could be one thing. Or you have a reason to do ice because you do a lot of sport and you recover quicker with it. Or a combination of both, or something.
Actually, talking about this, very quickly back to the limits on the ice, because I did some very stupid things myself where I crashed my nervous system and I was in a need of nap for 3 days after the ice bath. That day I didn't feel anything, but the following 2-3 days I was completely crashed. What would be your recommendation or your guide to what is the time cap? Like, even you don't feel much anymore, just get out of the ice.
If when we started that, I had no idea what I was doing. So you Google, and then we Googled, and on Google, apparently, I think it's 12 to 15 minutes can be lethal.
I was just about what was your maximum time?
Me?
Yourself, yes. After the experience.
Why does that matter?
Good go. All right, I got the answer. I mean,
no, we do stupid things,
Yeah.
So I do stupid things on myself, but I don't think people should repeat that.
Okay.
We did like the one of the most stupid things I did the ice bath, and I said I do ice bath first and then I do the breathing after. It's not recommended.
Okay.
Yeah. Do the breathing first and then the ice bath.
Okay.
What happened there?
There was on the 30-30 challenge, one of the guys, he came late, so he jumped into the ice and said, but you didn't do the breathing. And he said, I'll do it after. I said, no, you won't do it after. He said, no, I can do it after. I said, okay, do it after. He said, why are you smiling at me? He said, just try. And then he did 15 breaths. And then he was like, he tried to get up. He fell, like somebody who had drunk a bottle of whiskey. He fell on the floor and then he was going through like that. It was so funny. He said, are you going to do that again? No, never. So, but we did it before. So that's why we knew.
Also, you knew what's coming.
Yeah.
Okay.
We did also extreme. We had like a group at the beginning, like a Russian, a Romanian, an American guy. We called ourselves the advanced group.
I've seen it on some social media.
Yeah?
This group, yeah.
Okay, so
But it stopped eventually, right?
we stopped. Yeah, we stopped. And one of the reasons is the free diving, actually. So we were doing rounds of breathing and holding our breaths 3, 3.5, 4, 4.5, 5, 5.5, 6, 6.5, 7. Not everybody and not every time, but we just pushed.
7 minutes.
Yeah. And then we said, what can we do? And then David, who is my neighbor, scuba diving and free diving instructor, he said, well, free diving. I said, yeah. And we all went free diving. And he explained, so we did the swimming pool, we did the online course, we passed the exam, we went to Fujairah, and like with 16 meters, you have to pass the first time to do
believe so, yes.
And I think 8 out of 11 did the 16 meters. I couldn't, my ears didn't pop up, and it was really hurting. So he said, don't do it. We will do it next weekend. So we went again the next weekend, and then some new ones came, and not everybody had passed. And then we went the third time, and the advanced group at that time was with another instructor than David. David was taking the exam from the other people. And the instructor said, so what's the plan? And he said, well, I'm going to try to reach 30 meters. I need that for my exam for the next level instructor. But you don't have to do that. We start at 15 and then go to 20, 25 and 30. And to make a long story short, he's the only one who didn't do 30 that day.
Oh.
And we all went to 30.
Oh, wow.
One of the guys stayed half a minute down there. He freaked out because he couldn't even go and get him. And
the blackout. The free diving is the most dangerous between both sports.
No, it's like
because of blacking out.
Super dangerous.
It is super dangerous. Even incidents are way much higher.
I insisted to go without fins.
Oh, that's even much more harder because you need a kick.
And then he said, no, you cannot. And I said, ask David, he's my instructor. And David said, it's okay, leave him. And then
and he went to 30.
I went to 30.
Bless you.
And then but you know, technically we were shit. You know, I one of the guys, he had the rope on the left, but the rope was on his right, but his arm was. We did three shit, but
because you said it's a third session, your experience in it like is
not really,
not that much. Yeah,
the guy was all dressed, you know, with big watch and all that, and we were like amateurs. I mean, we were like. We looked like we've never done that.
So
before.
you powered through it, yeah?
Huh?
You powered through it.
Yeah, well, 30 meters takes like 140, 150, minute 50, and we knew we can hold for like 4 or 5 minutes. So,
but the holding is something, and then moving and holding is something else, and then going deeper.
You don't move that much.
Yes.
So we did that, and then the instructor went to David and said,
what is wrong with these people?
how often do they dive? You know, because he said, what, did they do anything wrong? You know, he was worried. He said, well, the technique's not really good. Okay. He said, yeah, but they all went to 30 meters, you know. And he said, well, they came mid-September and September, and now it's the third time they come. It was silent.
I think because you had one of the biggest knowledge about this kind of sport. You have the awareness of it, which is breathing.
Exactly.
Because equalizing is something that you learn through the process.
Yeah.
Because you can't equalize. Okay, you equalize on surface, and what happens? You have to learn the equalizing while going through the process. You understood it, but the most
equalizing is like making sure that the pressure is.
It's making sure that your ears are popping.
Otherwise, you get the pressure, and you can bleed. I think
you could bleed. You could go through a coma. Your ears could damage your eardrums.
Deepest ever I was 5 meters in the pool, and it was only because.
Try the next time.
Lifeguard. No, I'm not trying it next time. I never tried it. It was because it was a lifeguard seminar, course, whatever, and I needed to do it for the exam. I needed to pick up the figurine from the bottom, so I needed to go there. But it was, as you saying, like, and it was only 5 meters in the pool, and my ears were like, my head was about to explode.
So essentially, it's one of the most important things you do while diving or scuba diving or whatever experience below water. It's the most important part. You know that with experience, of course, you actually don't need to hold your nose as well. Sometimes you just swallow your...
like move the jaw, right?
Yeah, just move the jaw and then just... But of course, this comes with experience. Like, I'll tell you, I go on a dive and let's say we're going an average of 20 meters. Usually this dive could go to 30 minutes max. The tank usually has 200 bars and 200 plus, but more or less. The more you control your breathing, the more the tank and oxygen can stay. I learned by watching a video that I can breathe by inhaling, counting till 7, and exhaling, counting till 7. You know how much I come out with a tank in? 120, 130.
Like, you're saying all these numbers, but I have no idea what it means.
Usually, at this time, we're going up because people are on 50 bars. 50 bars means you're supposed to go up.
Okay.
That's
so
where
there's a pressure in the tank.
Yes, exactly. That's how much oxygen is left in the tank.
Yeah, okay.
So if you reach the 70, you have to let your instructor know, because now you're going back to the spot where you're supposed to ascend.
It's like the fuel tank is on the reserve.
Exactly. Yes, absolutely. So imagine I'm on So if they reach 50, that means it's red. The tank is red. The light is on. I'm on 110 and 120. So they look at me. You have gills. I don't have gills. It's just I'm relaxed. I know what I'm doing. So basically, I know what I'm doing because I've experienced it for a long time. I learned to breathe that easy. So you knew how to breathe. So the most difficult part of the whole experience
is the breathing.
And you had the awareness. That's why you've succeeded in doing that.
We were bad on the technique.
But imagine if you were good in the technique, what will happen?
And that's why we stopped. We all stopped. We said we know exactly what's going to happen. 35, 40, 45, 50. Okay. And then one day you don't make it.
Well, at least
it's one of the most dangerous sports. And I mean, I ride motorbikes, I ski and things like that. But to die in deep water, that's kind of ridiculous. Nobody sees it. It's not spectacular. No Instagram.
No dopamine.
I want to ask you how the breathing is helping you on your motorbike, because you do like also when you say you are on the motorbike, from what I know and I've seen even today, it's not like you going for a grocery on your motorbike. It's
I do.
Okay, but on top of that, you also go a little bit like off track, or what is it called?
Off-road.
Off-road,
we do enduro, and I don't think my breathing has changed on the motorbike more than it has changed when I run or when I hike. My breathing has changed all the time. So I breathe calmer. My breath is longer, in and out, and my heartbeat's very low. So my level of stress is quite low.
Okay.
But
thanks to the breathing.
Well,
partly thanks to the breathing.
I think, the breathing helps. I see on the motorbikes, but the motorbikes is difficult. We have some people who are not very fit. And they do things like that. They shouldn't. And then you have people who are fit, but they are not very good riders. They also shouldn't do that. And then you see after 2 hours, some people are like completely wet. And some people are quite fit and they help the others to lift their bikes when they fall. And
may I ask what kind of bikes?
A BMW, a GS 1200.
No, I'm sorry. What kind of bikes? I mean, as a sport.
Like basically, like you go hiking, he goes hiking, but he's doing it on the motorbike.
You're doing the GS, the crossing type of bikes, like because you're saying about breathing. So I thought it was just a regular motorbike on the street. But now I understand.
No, it's off road.
It's off-road style. The BMW, the GS.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I thought it was like either motocross or maybe quads or something.
No.
It's just okay.
Yeah.
So it actually. Oh yeah. Well, I understand that it's a very difficult kind of a ride, let's say.
And
It's
the
a heavy
heat.
bike. It's a heavy bike.
And the heat
with
when
all the
it-
clothes on.
yeah.
Yes, absolutely. I'm sure.
And I ride all year.
Even in summer.
Yeah, July, August.
But when do you start in summer? Very early in the
5
morning?
o'clock?
Yeah, before sunrise.
Before sunrise.
Stop at 8 a.m.
No, we typically come back out of the wadis around 9, and then from 9 to 10
You're jogging back.
Yeah, but that's well over 40, 45, 46.
Yeah, these bikes are very heavy. I know I have friends who actually maybe you know them. However, I know how heavy these bikes are. I know it's not an easy experience. So okay. How often is the ice bath recommended? I know you just mentioned people did it for like 30 days in a row, but a normal person who just wants to practice it for the reason of, I'm changing in my life, I'm doing this regularly. How often? Or there's no problem of having it on a daily basis?
There is not much literature you can find on how often you should do it. I tell people you should listen to your body. And it depends if you have a condition, you need to recover quickly, or you have a disease, you have psoriasis or asthma or something you have created yourself, you're anxious. Maybe you need only 2 ice baths, and then maybe 80% is gone. Maybe not. I think it's very individual. I think you should do those things when you feel that you need it.
You need it, okay.
Or maybe a little bit more. So
To overcome whatever's coming next.
Exactly.
Are you more for the gradual start, or like all out, head to the wall from the beginning? I mean, if obviously the best thing people can do is to reach out to you and you guide them through it. But the second best, that's why I'm getting, is it starting with the cold showers? What can people kind of like do to prep before they go to an actual ice bath?
The ice bath per se, if it's well guided, is not difficult. Okay, if people let go, don't come with, but I want to do it like this. Just follow the protocol. Everybody can do it. Everybody. We've done it. The youngest is 8 years old.
Wow.
Okay. And the oldest 74, a Kuwaiti. He was invited by his son, and his son said, listen, look after my dad, he's 74, etc. The son struggled. The father, he loved it. He said, why are you struggling? The father was amazing. So it's so much in your mind at what stage you are and all that. So how often should you do it? I don't know. I mean, I think you should do it whenever you have the possibility to do it. Okay. It's also a matter of how much you want to invest in your thing. How often should you eat healthy? Probably as often as possible, right? Oh, but it costs so much money. Okay, then find other solutions. So I don't think there is like one solution. Should you take cold showers? If you can. I mean, now the water is kind of cold here. It increases your metabolism. It increases your, if your metabolism is better, your blood circulates better. Your heartbeat's going to go down. If your heartbeat's going to go down, you're going to be less stressed. So anything you do, you go on holidays and you have the opportunity to jump in a cold lake, do it because you can. So those are all experiences you can or should do.
You said that if people follow the protocol and let go, then everybody can do the ice bath. I would like you to explain what letting go actually means. Or maybe even on examples. I know that on your Instagram there are some good stories. I also seen some tougher stories. What letting go can look like.
The letting go, is just to focus on your breathing and letting go in the sense of, you can't win against the ice. you have to accept the situation as it is. And I'm talking now physically and mentally, because everybody who does the ice in the first minute, they have no idea how cold or warm it is. You don't feel anything. It's all in your mind. If you breathe properly, you can do it. And if you breathe not properly, your reptilian brain will tell you to get out of here and you jump out. So it's it's nothing to do with the cold. The cold creates the environment, the stressful environment, the unknown in your mind and body. But it's not the cold which will take you out.
It's you.
Huh?
It's you.
Yeah, it's you.
It's
you from an unknown situation. So the thing is not to want to control the situation initially, just to do the right thing so your neurosystem adapts, and then you start controlling it, and then you start smiling and you say, wow, I can be in a very uncomfortable situation comfortably. And then you transfer that in your daily life, and you're in a meeting where there is like a heated discussion and maybe you're insulted, like as a woman, women, they can't do that, and then you calm down, there's no stress here, and you calm down, I can do the ice bath, I can take that. You calm and you live much better after that, if you can manage. Apparently it's one of the most stressful situations you can have is to go in the ice bath.
So if you can take that, you can take anything. That's
Pretty
what
much.
you're saying.
And that's how people feel when they get out.
Nice.
Right? You feel, that's why anxiety goes. Anxiety is you're scared of something which hasn't happened or may happen or so. But if you know you can take that, what can happen, Whatever happens tomorrow, I will be able to manage.
The overcome feeling of achieving.
Fear.
Fear is usually, to be honest, is on the other side. But we just see it and we think we're actually approaching it, but it's too far. But we build that kind of anxiety feeling and worry. Exactly.
How stupid is to worry? Worry is about about something which may or may not happen in the future.
Exactly. Say yes or a no. Yeah.
But not sure.
Well, see, I work in sales, and we always say when you have a cold call, it's a no already, because the person doesn't know you.
Yeah.
So when you get the yes, you'll be that happy and you've overcome the challenge. But if you say, I'm not going to approach because I don't know the answer, well, it's always no. So just go and figure out if it's actually no or it's going to be a yes.
Yeah.
I think it was Michael Jordan who said, you will miss 100% of the shots you never try.
Absolutely. I guess so.
Simple as that.
May I ask, the temperature of the ice bath is maximum, what's minus how much?
It's on the surface next to the ice is around -1.
Okay.
And at the bottom where there's only water and no ice, it's maybe 1. But so on average is around 0.
Okay. All right.
Sometimes a little bit less, depending when you put the temperature. If you put it next to the ice, sometimes it looks like -2 or 3.
Okay.
But it's around 0.
Well, it's still liquid, right?
Yeah,
mostly.
Exactly.
So.
And it only freezes at -4. So.
And that's the recommended temperature, or people can go for even much more minus?
No, you can't go more than minus. And if I put no water, you would touch ice and then you would get frostbites.
That's it. Yeah. Because
so if you have an injury and you put ice on they always tell you to put a cloth in between, so you don't have the -15 degree directly, otherwise you get frostbites.
Some people are doing like around 5-8 degrees.
Yeah.
Is it same effect or is it lesser, or what is the difference there?
There is a place here in Longevity in Dubai. They do ice. They do cold water of 10, 8, and 6. And people say, well, I started with 10. I stayed like 20 minutes in it. So if you go in 20 degree water, you have like that thing, That's just a little bit colder than the air. So when you go from 20 to 10, people said it's really cold. You go from 10 to 0, that's again, the same difference in temperature. It makes a huge difference.
Okay.
It makes a huge difference. You don't, the cold water is very good for you to recover, the general well-being of your body, just to recover a little bit quicker. But you need to stay quite long. At 10, at 8 or 6 is better, but you don't reach the thing. Cryotherapy, which is the other extreme, I think the cryotherapy is minus 100, 70.
They can go up.
70 degrees?
I think they also do multiple versions, but I think 70 is like, minus 70 is like standard, but I'm not sure.
It stays very superficial. You know, if you're
going to the core.
If you're at minus 20 in winter and you're outside, and you breathe in, it's okay. But when you touch the snow and the water comes in, it's like a multiplying effect. So the cryo can be quite good if you have a tennis elbow and you want to do just a tennis elbow. But again, it's much more comfortable to go in a cryo because you have absolutely no stress factor. You go in there and you say, I've been in a cryo. You just get out there, you're a bit chilled. It's nothing like the ice.
That's why it's extremely important to warm up after getting out of ice physically, because you need to get that heat
back
to the core, not only on the skin, right? Regardless, it's Dubai. It doesn't matter, right? Even in summer in Dubai, you still need to do that workout because you're just not going to heat it through the skin.
The blood needs to go back where it should be.
When we are talking about the hormonal effect, we are talking about the dopamine a little bit, but there are other things, right? Is there a difference between sauna and ice bath with the hormonal effect?
In the sauna, you create serotonin.
Okay.
You don't create dopamine. In the ice bath, dopamine.
Do you know why is that? Or what is the mechanisms of that?
No, I don't.
Okay.
I think it's the heat who does that. No, I don't know. I don't know what triggers the serotonin and the thing. Serotonin is what I read about serotonin on the immune system level. If you think you're gonna get sick, you feel that moment where I'm not feeling 100%. It's great to go into the sauna. If it's before you get sick. Okay. That can help you to overcome that and boost your immune system with the serotonin and not get sick. When you are sick, don't go into sauna because your body is already into the immune system.
Inflammation is there already.
Inflammation is there. Your body temperature goes up. Don't push it.
Don't increase it.
When you're 39, it's because the immune system has started to work. So don't influence that. That's too late. And don't go to the ice bath either.
Okay, so no ice bath either?
No, if you're sick, no. There are they put babies in cold water when the temperature goes like over a certain degree because it's dangerous for your brain, I think. Those are very extreme and should only be done in the
It's medical. Like, I think about 41, you should actually suppress the temperature with the ice or cold shower or something. Yeah.
But that's
rare.
Take a doctor.
Yeah. Let doctor to sign on that.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't listen to us. When we're talking about sauna, probably the huge important factor of the sauna effect is that you cool down afterwards.
Yeah.
Yeah. So not just I heat myself and then I go out.
Well,
there needs to be the contrast.
You actually traditionally, the people in Sweden, Norway, Finland, or Russia, they always have the sauna next to the cold water or the snow.
Or they just jumped into the snow. Yeah,
they jump into the snow. So the reason behind that is the heat opens your pores. You detox. You get a lot of toxins out, but you don't want to leave those pores open. So they normally do that 10-second dip. Or you go in the snow and then you rub yourself, which closes the pore and makes you cold. and increases your immune system again.
That's the white blood cells.
Yeah.
Rush.
Exactly. But in the sauna, you get the heartbeat up because the veins, the capillaries all open up, right? It's actually the only exercise you can do to reduce your probability of having a heart attack. There is a lot of research on that. The sauna and the ice bath, the combination of both. You can stretch muscles.
Yeah.
You can stretch ligaments. You can do, but the veins, to give them the flexibility to open and close. The only thing you can do is sauna, ice bath. If you do sauna, ice bath once a week, apparently you reduce your probability of having a heart attack by 95%.
That's very
95%.
Yeah. We all have clots regularly. You guys are young, but when you get older, you have people, they wear compression socks.
Sure.
They take aspirin to thin the blood. That's all because we all have little blood clots, and normally they just go through. But when they become too big or the veins are not flexible, they get stuck. And then if it's stuck here, that's one thing. If it's stuck in your legs, it's another thing. You can thrombosis and all that. But if it's stuck in your brain, you have a stroke. And if it's stuck in your heart, by doing sauna, ice bath once a week, you can reduce it by 95%.
It's like training your veins.
So when you say
training that,
when you say sauna, ice bath, just to make this 100% clear, you mean going into sauna and directly after sauna to a cold dip?
Yeah.
You don't mean
10 seconds.
one session of sauna and then another day one session of ice bath. Like this contrast for
the research I read is together. Yeah.
Okay.
The combination.
Okay. The combination
as a session. Sauna, ice bath, sauna. You typically do it 2 to 4 times. Do you go from one to the other? So from 100 degrees to 0 degrees, you do that a few times.
I used to do this with a couple of guys, my brother and my best friend in Denmark. We were studying there for 1 semester and we had a sauna at school. It was like a huge complex where we had like dormitories, gym, living rooms and kitchen, everything in one building, Amazing. We had pool there, we had sauna. So we just throw some coins into it, like €2 or something, heat up the sauna, took the jugs with water, put ice, so we have some hydration, right, inside. Yeah. And we just sat in a sauna, we're talking, drinking the water, then directly into cold water, at least 30-40 seconds each. We're going one by one, so there's no, time waste in between. And then we went outside where there was anything, November, December, Denmark, like anything between 5 to maybe -5 degrees. And we're just sitting there, still in our swimming shorts, and just talking until we started to feel we were actually going cold, and then again.
That's amazing.
And this was, it was like the best sleep ever after
amazing.
such a session. The best sleep you can get.
It's an amazing exercise to do to increase your immune system and to have your body to work, the blood flow, and it's amazing. It's good as long as you drink enough water.
Yeah. So you have sauna as well.
Yeah.
You have sauna as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
How many people can fit into your sauna?
Like comfortably or fit? They used to be those
like
records,
like
23 people in a Mini.
Mini Cooper or the Beetle.
Yeah, exactly. They used to have those records, no? No, 5 comfortable.
5 comfortable.
Yeah,
that's good.
Yeah, it's okay. Yeah,
that's already a community.
and 2 buckets out, so they rotate and.
Is there anything else you would like to add as an experience to those 4? Like, are you looking into something new to add?
Right now, no. But anything which continues into our journey of helping people with very natural things, to help them be healthy without without any interference of medicine or any additives. You know, this is. I mean, it's hot, it's cold, it's breathing.
It's hunger.
Yeah.
You're saying you got some people of medicine, right? The guy from the inhaler,
yeah,
and then somebody else of the pills.
I don't know.
I think last time we met, you mentioned something, but I can't remember now.
On the fasting, there was a guy. He had diabetes.
Maybe that was it.
He stopped. He stopped injecting. He takes tablets now, which is it's better. It's not great.
That's a huge step, though.
Yeah, but you know, like, I mean, why you have diabetes too? You know, you should never have diabetes too. This is it's just a lifestyle. And it's in the family. No, it's because the family eats the same shit than you. You know.
Exactly. Thank you.
So it has nothing to do with genetics.
You don't. It's
I go mad.
You didn't inhabit the wrong genes. You inhabited the wrong habits.
Yeah,
that's it. Yeah,
it's exactly that. So I don't know if people got off. Maybe a few people have, people who take pills to sleep, or people who have anxiety. What do they take? Prozac or what is this? Things like that.
Oh, Prozac is anti-anxiety.
Anti-anxiety, I think. Maybe a few people, but again, you know, unless the people open up to me, I'm not going to ask them. You know, did it help?
Did you have some
bad experiences?
Very bad, critical, like something where you were like, this was on the edge because of how people reacted, or I don't mean like a collapse or anything, just like their reaction where they really freaked out. Or is it happening often?
We had a couple of incidences in the advanced group when we tried things maybe we shouldn't have. People passing out, and was kind of difficult to get them back.
Was it in the eyes?
Yeah.
Or in the breathing?
On the breathing.
On the breathing.
On the breathing. You know, people just stop breathing and you can't wake them up.
Wow.
Completely gone. And you know, from the free diving, you know, sometimes you just blow, and they say so. You blow, you slap, you touch the thing, and then you put ice in their neck, you lift them up.
Leg, yeah.
Nothing, dead body.
Wow.
How you got them back? Or are they in the backyard? Still there.
Eventually they all came back, but you know, this is like, you don't exactly know how long it is. Is it a minute or is it 1.5 minutes? But it feels like an hour.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And then you tell the people, breathe, you know, and then he started, why are you shouting at me? Lam, I slapped you. No, you didn't. And then the guy next to says, no, he did. So a few of experiences like that. In the ice, yeah, you have people who their reptilian brain takes over, you know, and they just panic. And then we show them the video of what they just happened. Oh my God, that's me. You want to go back? Yes. Now I know what to do. You know?
Perfect.
But we had people, they went in, they jumped out, got dressed and left.
Wow.
And
I mean, it's not ideal, but
it's like 3-4 out of 2,000.
But
that's not a lot, but it happened.
But they definitely learned something as well, right?
But
about themselves.
Yeah, but for how long did they stay to leave that quick?
They did the breathing, maybe 15 seconds in the eyes.
Oh wow! Okay. Yeah.
But you know, maybe embarrassed. Maybe I don't know.
That's what I was about to get to, like, because it also depends if it's a group of people who don't know you and you have such a strong emotional reaction. You might not leave because you want to leave. You just leave because out of embarrassment and you don't want to, you know, face that.
Yeah,
that social awkwardness.
Possibly. Well, we had like a 8 jiu-jitsu black belt who came in one go.
There was a competition, huh?
No, not at all. They are
No?
they are totally zen. They are, and the guy, he had never done it before. He stayed 10 minutes, and I let him because he was so comfortable. I was talking to him and all that. I said, "Hey, he said, this is amazing. It's amazing. Just like talking like that." And
Wow.
That's great.
and then one of them, and they're all like, they are war machines. I mean, that's quite, jiu-jitsu black belt is quite fit.
It's 10 years of getting your ass kicked.
Exactly.
And built.
And one of them, he put one foot, he took it out. And then I said, "What's wrong? I can't do it." He said, "No, just do it, He went with both feet. He went out. "Yeah, I can't do it." But very calmly, no stress. He said, I can't do that.
Okay.
Did he end up winning?
And then nobody pushed him or anything like that. Okay, maybe you. And then I talked to him at the end as a coach, as a life coach, NLP coach or whatever, and just asking him question, and then there was an aha effect. And I said, "What happened?" He said, I didn't know, but it came to my mind now. My dad, when I was 7, he pushed me into cold water.
So he has a trauma.
Wow.
Trauma.
Oh.
Directly related to cold water.
Totally. He had forgotten about it. But, by digging and all that, and they said,
Interesting.
aha.
Well,
He said, "I'll come back. I want to come over it."
Smart guy.
probably helps.
Yeah, no, but because those people, they are very controlled with their body and mind. They're comfortable with it, etc. But the guy had a trauma. We had one lady who had she froze. She had like a panic attack, but she could still talk. She said, "I'm having a panic attack."
She realized
I'm having a panic attack and I will not be able to come out. You need to take me out. So we took her out and she was like a frozen block.
Oh, wow.
She could not,
Like a fetal position.
yes, she
curled
was like
down.
that. And we were 3 guys, lifted her up and put her, she was not moving. Said, "Please lay me on the side." And then
Left or right?
I don't remember. And then
Detox.
I was at the very beginning. It was very beginning, and I was not comfortable. I didn't have. That was one of my first experiences, bad experiences. And then, like 20 minutes later, she said, "Okay, now I'm gonna go back." I said, "No, you're not. You go home."
You mentioned it now. You have NLP.
I'm an NLP coach. Yeah.
NLP coach, which is neuro-linguistic programming.
Yeah.
Right. Your life coach.
I'm a life coach. Yeah.
And couple of decades experience working with people, right? So I would say this definitely helps you to manage the communication,
to approach in the right way,
to know how to talk to people, to know how to dig if you need to, or to know when to let go when it's needed.
Yeah.
Were there moments when you're like really, really questioning, like, is this even okay what we do here?
All the time.
That's the best answer.
No, but I mean, of course you have to question yourself, I think, all the time, because it's so interesting, and you know, like when we have 10 new people, and there is with my assistant, with Roy, we look at them breathing and said, look, how many will do it today? Will we get, we like drama, because if everybody goes in the ice, it's like kind of boring, like, so
you want some action.
You want some excitement.
Some popcorn and nachos on the side.
Action means it's the people who need it the most.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So they get an experience which gets them really at the limit of what they can or want to do, and to help them overcome that. That's nice. When people go in and they say, well, this is nice. Okay. You could have done it by yourself. Why are we here? While the others who they suffer from something and they are healing, the guy who has Parkinson, we worked together, said, how you feel? He said, I'm feeling nothing. I said, maybe you should come out, you know. I said, no, I'm not feeling nothing. I'm comfortable, you know, I feel good.
Yeah.
So there's totally different, you know. You have that girl, she starts crying, you know, in front of the bucket. I said, if you cry, you cannot go in the bucket because you will not be able to breathe properly. Then she starts laughing. I said, that doesn't work either, you know. I said, you cannot laugh or cry. You need to be calm. So
just go to the center.
Somewhere in the thing. So she calms down. Her laugh was nervous. Her crying was emotional, you know, and then she goes, she finds herself, she goes in, she breathes a few times, and then she starts crying. I said, now it's okay, you can cry, you know, like.
But it's different type of crying,
now
right?
she releases emotions she always wanted to release, you know, and now I said, I feel so embarrassed to cry in front of everyone, you know, and she starts crying. I said, listen, I'm going to stand in front, nobody will see you, let it go, you know.
Yeah. But she was brave, she didn't leave.
No, she was, and because I think we have created that safe environment where people can actually
be themselves.
They can be themselves, you know. It's a little garden, and it's
very
cozy.
nice environment.
It's cozy, you know, and people are helping each other even though they don't know each other, you know. Wow, you've done so great, you know, like, and so it's beautiful. It's beautiful.
Are people pushing numbers sometimes too much?
Like, yeah, of course. Yeah. I can stay longer. I said, yeah, I know you can. But I always tell the people, you know, this is something you need to do progressively. You try it, you see how your body feels. You go again, you feel, and then, you know, I don't let people be more than 10 minutes in the ice, because all the health benefits 95% of the health benefits are achieved by 8, 9, 10 minutes. So why would you stay longer?
And generally, if it's about overcoming, then once you overcome, let's say it will happen in 2:30. Yeah? You're done, right? It doesn't really matter if you're there up till 5 or 8 or 10.
No, but it increases certain things you want to achieve.
Okay, but mentally?
Mentally after 2 minutes it's done. That is done. And it only happens the first 2-3 times. Even though you have people, there's a good friend of mine, he stays easily 10 minutes. But every time he has to go in the water, he's like, okay, I do it. And he struggles the first 30 seconds every time.
What is it about that head dip? This is what I struggle always the most with. Like, I will do some breath.
You have no hair. You have no hair.
I had hair 3 weeks.
Is it part of the experience to dip the head?
Yeah, at the end you should.
Yeah,
a quick one.
A quick
one.
Okay. Okay. Again, under 30-30, we had a guy who is a free diver. He had a free diving school, and he put his belt on, and he went 1 minute 27 under the ice. I was not there. What, guys? What are you doing when I'm not there? Yeah, we wanted to check. You know. I said, you know, you should not have your head into ice cold water. It's not good for your brain.
Yes.
Yeah, I felt a bit strange after.
What was he expecting? Yeah,
exactly.
A belt as well, like to put the belt just to force himself.
What is the belt?
So, to stay underwater.
No, because otherwise you float. So
so it's just the weight.
Yeah, he wanted to go down.
But that's the push which you don't like, because again,
it has no.
Okay.
It's not good for you, you know.
I mean, I'll go into the water with like some breaths. Some days are easier. Sometimes it's harder. Just, depends how I feel. But when I'm I rather stay 1 more minute in the ice, just mentally preparing for that head dip. Once I'm under, I can hold 10-15 seconds. But like that moment of deciding to go under, I don't know. Like it's just. Mentally, that's the toughest part.
It's like cliff jumping. Despite how many times you jump, there's always that small hesitation.
Yeah.
Well, but cliff jumping is not really something I've ever done.
Well, I've done it a lot, so I know. I've done skydiving and I've done bungee jumping.
You've done
I did in 1 week. I did two bungee jumps and 1 skydive. One of them was backwards.
You know what
the third highest in the world, the bungee jump one as well.
I love these stories. You know what is base jumping?
Yes, I do.
When they have the cloth, basically that is
wingsuits.
wingsuits that is floating them. You know that top 60 people, 60, who contributed the most to the development of the sport died while doing the sport.
Of course, there's no breaks in the sport.
Yeah, like, yeah, well, there's a parachute at the end, right? But tell me this, okay? I understand, I don't understand, but I can kind of try to understand the first guy ever. Like, oh, maybe we can like try this, okay? And he killed himself. He killed himself straight on the first attempt. Who was the second one? I want to know who was the second one.
The friend that he told I'm going to experience. In
Switzerland they wanted to forbid it because they had so many deaths in streams in Grindelwald.
It's crazy.
They had one a week who died, and they said we're going to stop that, and then they stopped for a while. It's going on.
Have you seen the speed they're on, and they're that close to the ground? It's nuts. It's crazy. But to be honest, personally, my experience with skydiving was less fear than bungee jumping, because I took the decision with bungee jumping. So you're the one who's leaping, while with skydiving, because it was tandem, you're trusting.
So you had an instructor on you.
Oh, absolutely. Okay. I'm interested in getting the license because I don't have fear from heights, thank God. But the most from those experiences was the canyon swing. So basically, you're attached with your harness to a bridge on the other side, and there's a cable in between, and you just free fall for 5 to 6 seconds. And that was the most scary moment. All the crazy stuff that I've tried so far. And my brother did it as well. And he was like, that's the most worrying moment, basically, because your guts and everything is just like for 5 and 6 seconds. It's like not 1 second. However, the whole point of this, I believe, was just you're preparing for the moment to put your head.
Yeah.
The hesitation is always there. That's why you don't stand and look down on the cliff. You just come running. You just come running and jump, because there's no time for you to think, oh, I have to stop. Even with bungee jumping, they tell you to close your hands and not to grab anything, because you'll be on the edge. Because the moment that you'll grab the mic, but you grab anything that's around you, because your mind is doing something out of your actual knowledge or something out of your comfort zone, basically. Yeah. But so every time you have to go through the struggle by putting your head in the water.
Yeah, every time. But like, where do I look? You know, like I can't not look there. I can close my eyes.
Interesting.
Yeah, but I always do it because I remember I told you that as well. Like, I don't want to put my head down. It's like, that's why you should. I was like, yeah, I knew that would be the And I always force myself, but sometimes it takes 1 more minute to just to get that done. Yeah.
Are you a snoozer?
No, I don't snooze.
Why is the question?
Because that's the same pattern, right?
You have the alarm clock, and then you snooze, and then you should get up, but you snooze.
Okay, no, I just want to understand the relation between that and the moment of deciding to put his head in the water. Okay.
Because he knows he's going to put his head in the water. Like, you're going to get up. Mm-hmm. So what do you wait?
Like, you're going to jump, right?
Yeah, it's okay. A little bit later.
Makes no difference.
So basically, the lesson is, if you want to jump off plane, don't snooze, right? Because there's the same pattern.
I think with anything that is out of your control, you don't have to hesitate. You just go for it. Well, unless it's life.
Because the moment between that 1 minute you are in the water, you don't enjoy as much as the minute before. The minute where you decide, I'm going to put my head, but not now, that's the worst minute.
Mm-hmm. I know. I know. I live it. Yeah. But, for example, like cold shower, that's okay. I just go under. Just like, that's not a big deal anymore. So, yeah. Do you have any message for people? Message from heart, from your happiness and health center?
I wasn't prepared for that.
Well, you don't have to do anything too deep. Just anything that comes to mind.
No, I think if people realize that you can change your health by very simple adjustments in your life, the simplest one is by breathing correctly. It costs nothing. a few minutes every day, and through your breathing to reduce your stress. And as we know, 80% of the diseases today are stress related. So if there was one message, it's of course it's great to go into ice, great to go into sauna, etc. But if there is one thing you can change a lot by doing little, is the breathing through the nose, and doing some exercises on the breathing to increase your intake and calm you down. That alone will make you happy, because if you're healthy, you're happier.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.